All right. Just double checking everything here. It's looking good. Everything is looking good. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. We're back on the Craftiverse server today, and of course, there are some things that I've kind of neglected within the first week of the launch, and that simply is because, well, Babs. Well, let me just show you as we explain what's going on today. Babs built our starter house, and my job. Yo, Blaze, what's going on? Just explaining what we're going to be doing here today. That, Babs was generous enough to build us our starter house here in Craftyville. Of course, Creeper's got to interrupt us here. Just nervously spamming some keys over here. Early stream? Yeah, we're just going to kick it off a little bit early today. We're going to do some other things attached to what the main goal is here today. Or maybe I'll just do a quick little stream and then take a little bit of a break to gather up some resources, then work on something else afterwards. But, so yeah, after last stream, I added in a couple of more bits to our little Craftyville Plaza here. Added in some armor statues. We got like a little kid over here with the parents. The parents giving it like some like gummies or something, like kid treat or something. I don't know. Then we got a guy over here fishing. Then we got this guy right here. He's checking out the Craftyville map, which I got to update it to remove some of these things and to actually add in this area. I also need to go around and destroy all of the leaf litter because that's what's showing up on the map is all of this stuff, which, over time, that's what we're going to have to do. Essentially, Babs was so generous enough, all right, to build us our Craftyville house. And with my theme this season being a dinosaur museum, I was like, oh, it'd be really cool to build a skull that leads into our little Craftyville house here, So that's my job for today because, of course, our museum for the skeletons of the dinosaurs are going up there on the mountain. So that's what's going to be happening there. All right. So our dinosaur head skull is going to be going down here because the pathway is going to connect this way, and the lowest part of any path over here in Craftyville is going to be down here where these spruce trees are. So you're going to come down to this point and you're going to go across to a bridge over here. Then there's going to be a footpath that kind of cuts in between Cheese right here and our good friend Fallen, and it's going to go that way. And then there's going to be a footpath leading over that way heading towards the shopping district. And then that footpath is going to link coming down into here, and it'll split down to here. So if you want to go across the bridge, you came back, forgot something or whatever, then go ahead by all means. Yo, Bubbles, what's going on, man? How is it hanging over there in the ooh? That's how you're going to be referenced for now, forever, going on just over there in the ooh. But today, we need to get our Craftyville quote-unquote starter house going, really. I mean, it's not even the house. It's just the outdoor decoration for the beautiful build that was totally not off by any blocks whatsoever when Babs first built this, and I was trying to do our staircase on the inside, which I got to finish up doing the staircase and finish kind of moving some things around and add just a couple of extra stuff in here just for sole purposes of your basic starter house. I mean, we got a little super smelter, we got a blast furnace set up, we got some composters to get some bone meal from like our wheat from the seeds out of the wheat farm down below. We got a little lava thing so that way we can, refill up our furnaces if we want to stop using coal. Just basic stuff. We got an enchant set up, and then Babs' storage is still all the way over here for some reason. He hasn't moved it up to his side of the balcony, which my side's over there, as we can tell by the purple carpet, because purple's my favorite color. Blue is Babs' favorite color, so of course, he gets blue carpet. And it looks like there's a cake on Babs' side, and then there's a cake over on my side. Oh, it's from Izzy. Well, we're not going to eat that cake. We're going to leave that there forever and ever. It's going to be a little staple, I guess. But yeah, I'm excited to build this. The ooh took me really off guard. Yeah. Now, I'm in a good mood this morning. I had some coffee, woke up, I'm ready to go. So what I need to do is I need to get some dirt to kind of flatten this out a little bit. I already got all of the resources needed to build it. It's all out of quartz. That's why, that's why I haven't built it yet, is because I had to spend so much time gathering up all these quartz because the gold farm's not up and running just yet because we're waiting on the iron farm. But Alma did say the iron farm and iron shop will be open beginning to middle of the end of this week. So I'm excited for that. All right, what kind of coffee? That's the real question. I mean, hot, just regular coffee, I guess. Dark roast, medium dark roast, or something like that. Something to that effect. I think, honestly, that our dino skull should be on this level here. It was hot with just a splash of creamer. That's it. That's how I like my coffee. I like it hot, not a lot of sugar, barely any sugar, like maybe a teaspoon or two, and then a splash of milk. But if I have creamer, then just a splash of creamer. Honestly, that's all I need. Same goes for like summertime. I typically do iced coffee just because it's hot out, and I don't like hot coffee in the afternoon, so I'll do like an iced coffee in the afternoon, but that's really the only time that I do iced coffee is really in the summer months. Or if I want some coffee and it's, you know, still in the winter months, whatever, then maybe I might, but it's very rare that I do the iced coffee. It's more so in the summertime. Just it's like, oh, I want coffee, but I don't want hot coffee, and hot coffee is like a morning staple for me. I don't know why. I've never really been able to drink hot coffee all day or just in general. I go from like a cup of coffee, only one or two in the morning, and then it goes into like energy drinks, water, soda, you know, typical drinks. I can't pound the coffee to me all day. I really can't. I don't know how like my dad, he can pound the coffee to him all day. He can drink it all day, not a problem. Hot. He doesn't do iced coffee. I guess it's maybe just that generation. Oh no. Oh no. All right. So Blaze just redeemed 1,000 spuds and for a ban in-game action, and I cannot sneak. All right. We can't sneak. Ugh. Oh, I totally forgot that actually it's only set to 5 minutes if I remember correctly. So if I check out, I'm pretty sure the in-game ban action is for 5 minutes, isn't it? Yeah, it's for 5 minutes. I don't know why I thought last time it was going to be like for the whole stream, but I'm going to at least set a timer for at least 5 minutes going forwards here and see how far I can go. So we're going to start it now. All right, I'm not allowed to sneak, which is kind of going to make building a little tricky. I want to get some more dirt. I saw that it was going nighttime. Cheese slept, or somebody slept. Somebody slept. All right, so the timer is running. So far, we're only been at 26 seconds. I don't know how well. I mean, honestly, I think this is good. Maybe I'll go out one more just to be on the safe side, so that way we can. I did build this in a creative test world. I'm not gonna lie, and using Lightmatica because there's a bunch of slabs and stairs in this build. So I want to make sure that I'm getting things right and I'm building things right. So of course, with a bunch of stairs and slabs, it can get a little bit tricky. Try to remember orientations and stuff. It is in my head-ish, but not enough to remember without the schematic. Because it is oddly shaped. It is a dino skull, so that's the thing. But now I need to make my way over here. I really don't know how I'm going to do the corner. Well, maybe right here. We should be fine, right? Can't sneak. Okay. So we got that going. Now, I'm going to dump this crapola off. Honestly, you can go right there. We'll grab our magical stick. So that way we can pop out this schematic. And of course, all of this is going to change, like the terrain around here and everything. I just needed a flat working space to work with right here. So we're going to open up our schematics, and we are going to search for our dino skull. T-Rex, load the schematic. And let's see here. I need to go into configuration menu right here, render layers, all above. And we got to go back into schematic placements, configuration, rotation. This is the way that I want it to be. All right, so we got to push this back. And then it's going to, I think honestly right here is good. Because of course the terrain is going to change. And I'm going to make it so that way the pathway, you have to traverse through the mouth of this thing. This thing is amazing. It took forever and a day for this. And then having a little bit of a spinal cord, because of course of like how it's kind of placed, it would look weird having a full one. And plus, you know what? I'm just using that as an excuse to not create a whole thing. And of course the red wool is just a marker so that way I can create the area. I mean, what do we think? I think this is a good spot, honestly, to kind of tie into the area a bit. It's not too far away. It's still within the area. I was going to try to figure out a way to do a spinal column coming off of it and then wrapping around the hill here to lead up to the actual base. But just because of like kind of how the skull is. Oh, hey, we can always add to it. We can always change it in the future. But I think this gets the point across. Honestly, this gets the point across. So what we need to do now is we need to go back into render layers, single layer, and we need to bring it up to, what level are we at? We are at 92, so it actually needs to come down just a tooch. 92 is where we're going to be starting off here. We can get rid of actually all of these things, so all of this can go into the hotbar here. We're sitting at 4.5 minutes right now on the timer for the in-game ban action from our lovely friend here, Blaze. So let's just get right into this. I mean, it's not going to be hard. I got scaffolding. The only issue is the whole shifting of trying to get things into the right place. That's what we need to worry about right here. But I'm excited for this build. I was going to say, what is going on here? Okay, cool. And now we need to get in the bottom jaw here for the teeths. And we got to get, I don't even have, should really get my hands on some temporary blocks. Because I literally only crafted the right amount. The right amount. All right, we're over the 5-minute mark right now. Let's just see how long I can go without holding shift, without sneaking. So we're at 5.5 right now. Yep, 5.5 exactly. Our first bot of the day is trying to pop into the chat here. Not going to happen on my watch there, buckwheat. All right. And now we need to get up here. Oh, this is where the shifting kind of comes into play here. That makes things easier. We got to get our slab, our Rooney in here. And then, honestly, we could just do that, break that. When I was building this in my creative test world, I did notice. Oh, okay, cool. That's going to be a full block then. All right, not a problem. That you can break the individual slabs in the sense of where, you know, if you were to build 2 slabs like this, it breaks it still into its top and bottom variant. So if you only wanted to break the bottom variant, then voila. Uh-oh, are we experiencing some lag here? Ooh, this can't be good. This can't be good. Our ping has gone up quite a bit. It's not where I like it to be. It's coming down. Normally it sits right around 30. I probably I need to restart my router. I think that's my issue right now. Is that I just need to restart my router. And that was the first accidental shift, so we went a total of 7 minutes and 16 seconds. Just because, of course, my big brain idea was like, oh, well, I'll just build it right here. Start building on this part. So we're going to clear this dirt out, because these are where the top jaw of teeth is going to go. And then, yeah, these are all slabs, right? And then stair over here. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited about this. I can't wait to get this done. What's up, Babsy Babes? How's it going? Taking a break, I see. Been busy grinding. I'm finally adding the skull. You should be happy. Finally getting in the skull that leads up to our base and going to slope some of the terrain around here so that way it actually makes sense. Just made a little flat plateau just so that we could build up on it. This time I'm safe from shenanigans. Well, Blaze just did an in-game ban of no sneak for the 5 minutes, which of course you reminded me after the stream that it wasn't for a whole stream. So I set a timer on my phone and went 7 minutes actually. It was pretty nice. A little over 7 minutes before I accidentally snuck. Because of course I got up onto the top jaw here and then I instantly pressed shift. So I went on a pretty good time. Pretty good time. And while we have that dirt here, I want to get that in and then get this upside down slabberoonie. And then I think that is there's something that goes here. Yep, a slab. Now we go up. Is this gonna mess with stuff? Nope. Okay. So we have a slab there. All right. This is where things start to get a little tricky. Get that in place. And then I don't... Actually, you know what? Why not be smart brain and do this? Go off to the side so that way I can place the stair in the right orientation. And then this one is a full block, a slabberoonie, full block. Get the stair in. And then we got a slab going, slab. Are these all slabs going over full block? Full, and then full. And then we have upside down stairs here for the upper lip. And then, oh, yep, this is part of the rest of the top jaw. Well, I mean, I guess really this is more the skull. And then the bottom layer is the jaw. So, get that rocking and rolling. As I go, I'm going to kind of break this stuff. All right. Next layer it is, which if I remember correctly, yep. can't take full credit for this. I actually was like looking up reference images and I can't remember the name, but of course I'm not entirely sure if they're the quote-unquote original of this either. I'm going to definitely figure out exactly who to give the proper credits to, and it'll be that does not go there. And I will make sure to link it into the VOD over on the YouTube channel. Just that way I don't get into trouble. Okay. Need to get a dirt block up, and then it's going to be the same over here. Right. Right. All right. This is where things get a little bit dicey, So I think it starts to incorporate other random blocks. Yeah. The stairs is what gets me, but it helps. It makes it feel more immersive, more alive. Full block, right? Yep. And we can get our stair right in here. And then our temporary block so we can get the right angle of the stair. And then full block, and then we wrap around with the slabs. I like when I can actually, when I'm able, I'm actually able to build the full amount of resources needed specifically for the build. What is this supposed to be? This is supposed to actually be a double slab, according to this schematic. Okay, so now that's right. Now we come up. Just to confirm I can place on top of here. Perfect. Ah. So this is supposed to be a double slab. There we go. We used up all of our resources that we had crafted specifically for this. So, ooh, fairly nice. As you come in, you walk through the dinosaur skull, you come out through the back of the spinal cord, and then you work your way all the way up into Babs and I's little Craftyville base. Isn't it so nice? All right. Now we can go into schematic placement. We can remove loaded schematics. We can unload that, and we don't need to load any others. So now that we got our dinosaur done, the skull of it, the spinal column attached to it just ever so slightly. I did try to figure out a way to add in some like eyeballs to it, but it just to be kind of gimmicky, kind of be fun with it, I guess, or something, but it just wasn't working the way that I wanted it to work. I also love it how I made sure to put some scaffolding on me if I needed to like get down and whatever, and ended up just using dirt to scaffold up. So that's good planning on my part. Good planning on my part. Wow, we were able to get this done within 25 minutes. That's pretty sweet. It really works out when you, is it becoming daytime or is it nighttime? It is becoming nighttime. I'm like, I thought we just slept or something. Maybe not. All right, now we can do some terraforming stuff. We got to make the area look really good. We got to make the area look so good. Okay? Just mashing random keys. Okay. Now we can get the rest of our tools back down here into our hotbar. And I need to get my hands on some more rookets. Dirt. And I'm gonna need dirt for this little project here to slope out the terrain a bit. And I know we're gonna need some like stone stuff more than likely. More than likely we're gonna need some stone. And there's some mud. Alright. So what we need, I think a really skinny pathway is going to be nice to lead into here, and going to do something here so that way people just don't cut across here. That the whole point is to actually go into the skull. So we're even going to drop that down just a little, like just right there. So that way you have to go here, and then you need to actually take the staircase to lead us up here into our Craftyville house. So I think a nice little, like, slow incline up on a curve is going to be really, really, really complimenting of the... Oh, I thought I saw something. Of the build. Of Babs's beautiful house, and then my skull. So as far as what we could use for some slabs, do I have... I got spruce. And I want to sprinkle in... I want to do a rough amount of mud. Might need some spruce stairs. Yeah, spruce stairs. And we're going to grab the remainder of our spruce planks out of our chest right here, just that way we have some things. I have a bunch of signs because I overmade a bunch. Sorry, shelves. I overmade shelves. Whoopsies. That's okay. Because we have giant spruce trees right here anyway, so it's fine. Da 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 da. All right, so kind of getting the lay of it. If we do something. We have this that'll wrap up. Kind of widen it. Oh, I ran out of slabs already? Oh. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Just going to craft up some more slabs so we can get a beautiful angle, beautiful curve. I think just to kind of start introducing it. Maybe that one gets taken out and we'll throw that in. So that way you're forced to go this way. And then it'll go into straight stairs up. So now let's get some of this packed mud in here just to kind of get a figuration of just how this pathway is really going to go. And honestly, what do we got going on over here? I mean, there could be a pathway that leads out to over there, or we could do some beautiful terrain stuff. I mean, that's nice. So then just to kind of save on resources here, that we're just going to do this, just that way we know in our brains this is where a pathway is going to go. Which of course need to get my hands on some like other materials for said pathway. And then we're going to curve out to go this way, and we're going to hug the side of the mountain. I know I have a nice shovel in my hands and everything, but it's going to like do more more bad than good. And then honestly, we'll kind of do the same thing of what we did leading up to our base. That will do a nice little edged platform to go here. Kind of cut that back just a little bit so that way this looks a bit better. And then the pathway is going to continue that way. So then you can run this way, and we might even do, because of course I got to figure out how the rest of this is going to go. I've been kind of holding off on the backside of this just because we've been kind of using this as like a rudimentary tree farm till Cheese gets her wood shop and farm up in Runin. Up and running. And I got a little bit more packed mud on me, so I'm just going to throw these in just to get the reference point of, hey, this is a pathway, or going to be a pathway. And then it's going to kind of like go that way. All right. So then that means this needs to kind of start getting taken away. I'm going to remove all of this dirt right here because it was for the temporary platform. I mean, basically the platform for the skull. And then, so that way you need to go this way. And I don't really like how straight this is. So what we can do is kind of come out a little bit. We can add a little curvy section. It's over here. Just to kind of break it up a little bit. Can also kind of cut this back just a bit. We'll have like boulders and stuff poking up here, kind of around the edge over this way too. And then we got to do some terraforming right here, so that way it's an obvious path. And of course, once a path is actually placed in here, then it'll be even more so obvious that this is the way to go. So that's looking nice. There are some materials. I don't even know if I really have some pathway blocks and such. What's over in these? Oh yeah, these are the magma blocks for Babs and I to Work on a gold Okay, I don't know why there's bone meal over there. Just some random bits of stone. Is it becoming nighttime already? Wow. Oh, let's see here. Got some stone there. Some other stone. That's for redstone builds purposes. Redstone build purposes. We got cobbly. Some more stone. Which what we can do is actually take 3 of those. Get those kind of smelted into smooth stone. Because we're probably going to do some brickage. Some stone brick action. And I don't know. So we have a cobble. We have a cobble generator over in our industrial district. So I'm wondering if we have a good stock over there if we've ran it. Well, if Babs has. The next time that Babs gets online, I need him to show me how to run that farm. Because I don't want to accidentally blow it up. I almost did the other day, but I'm like, I'm going to wait for Babs. I need to wait for Babs. That's what I need to do. I need to wait for Babs to come online. So that way he can show me how to run the farm. Our nether hub is dangerously dangerous. Also, with me being so close to Craftyville, I don't know if I want to actually set up a nether portal, which I also didn't think about incorporating it into my base, because I was also kind of hoping to be close to Craftyville, just because I'm head of that committee. And I'm going to be constantly, like, working on Craftyville throughout the season and helping out with other community projects. So, like, I don't really need a portal, per se. And then actually, while we're over here, I'm going to head on up to the roof and just refill my pork chops. And I know there should be some sales, maybe, potentially. So I'll make sure to grab a shulker box of pork chops while we're over here, just that way we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. It does take a hot minute to get over here to our industrial district. It took me so long to break this 1 block of bedrock, and it scared the ever-loving crap out of me. So let me grab an empty shulker. And we will get this filled up with pork chops so we can just kind of have this as a stock to refill our shop. $59, which actually I'll trade that for my offhand. All right. We got that filled up. Now, we need to head down to the industrial district. The reason why I throw my chest plate on as I'm running through the tunnel is because sometimes it, like, does a weird little glitch thing of when you're doing, like, the run and jumping thing, that it makes you, like, go into flight mode, and I don't like that. It freaks me out sometimes. All right. What do we got for blocks over here? We got some deep slate. We got other stone, some andesite. I should grab a shulker box. So I'm getting flashbacks to last season of just like random crap being thrown into the shulkers randomly. This is good. We're on a good roll for this. Grab a couple of these slabs. Diorite, no, thank you. And there's not granite to take. I'm gonna leave a stack of scaffolding and then take a stack of scaffolding for myself. I think we're good there. And then just to double check, has Babs ran this farm recently? Oh yeah. Okay. So what we'll do is we can... we'll take as much cobble as we can. Bring it back and start smelting it. I'll leave that stick behind. And we're going to throw that back in there. Put my chest plate back on because we're going into the nether. Yeah, this part scares me, especially with the wings on. That you could kind of like pop down and around, which, I mean, we probably could easily make it a little bit safer. uh, but I also kind of don't really want to work on doing that to make it safer, because eventually once the nether hub is up and going, whatever, which Babs and Cheese are head of that committee, and I'm going to be helping them out from time to time. Because that's one of my biggest goals for this season, is to not do my own thing and get sucked off into doing my own personal gains and stuff. I want to indulge myself into as many community things as possible and help out and be more interactive and stuff. It just happens to be that today, for the plans, is to get the skull done, which, I mean, we did, and now we got to do some terraforming. I mean, of course, if anybody kind of pops in or pops up and be like, hey, we should do something, I'd be like, okay, cool, let's go do something. So yeah, like, the idea is just to kind of run it with you guys, is that coming out of our portal here, be like, ooh, where do I want to go? You look at the map, and then you'd be here into the plaza, which, oh god, this just looks so beautiful. Added in the glow berries after the stream because someone was so nice enough to give me some. So I brought them around to add that little bit of light, threw in some of those copper lanterns, just to kind of spruce it up a little bit, and I think, honestly, maybe adding in some light fixtures in here, maybe like a couple of little like street lamp type of ordeals, or like tiki torches maybe, would be really cool. But anyway, so the pathway is going to like kind of come up into here. We could either dip down here and go along the side of here, or it's like you need to come into here and then you go out that way, and then you go out that way. So that way you have to touch into this area where our lovely picnic area is, that Cheese was so generous enough to build. And of course, we have some of these cool mini block things that you put random different items into the stone cutter, and you get these really cool things. And of course, with the armor statue mod called Armor Poser, able to do some of these cool build ideas like this. And especially having a sword being stabbed into the cake, that's really cool. We got the guy pointing at the map. Oh, it's just so exciting. Well, anyway, then like a pathway would come out here, then it would lead you to go that way over to Babs and I, and then depending on how things work, because we got two people up on the hill here. We got Nuroko and we got Shroom over here, then we got Fiva over that way, which more than likely Fiva would be more so attached to a road that goes this way. And then we got Izzy, and then we got all of the guys up here. And then I'm pretty sure that's another Noah over there. And then Ink is way over there on the other side of the knoll. And then, yeah, Atma's over this way. So, like, we would have a pathway that would, like, come out and then wrap around this way. And, of course, it's all going to really depend on where our town hall is going to be placed. Because it's going to be placed here. Shroom's been working up some ideas, I believe, and I'm going to be helping him with that. But yeah, the pathway will come down and around this way. It'll lead over here to Atma's base. And then it's going to kind of connect up with coming down to here. So that way we walk over to the shopping district from this point. And then there will be a path that goes this way to go over to this little flat plateau, which is, you know, it'll help with more terraforming. This is going to make this look better. But just that we can utilize the different height variants and everything. And then there's going to be a bridge that goes across that way, then a footpath to go in between Fallen and Cheese's base over there, going over into the shopping district. So that's nice. So that's where this kind of comes into play, is that we could come up this way, then wrap that way, or come up this way, and then go this way, and then curve, or come to here, and then meet up somewhere like right in here. And then maybe go up around the mountain this way, do some cool things on here, so that way there's a road going up that way to connect straight off the bat from here, and then going around that way, and then maybe around Fivo's house in that sense. Maybe we'll figure it out. We can definitely figure this out. All right. So hopefully stone's been being smelted. We'll throw in some more. And I want to actually head to the shopping district because I want to check to see if we got sales. To kind of fill up on our shop here. Ooh. We got 9 diamonds. All right, where is the shulker box? Ah, right here. We got a shulker box full of pork chops. So that way we can refill that one, and then we can finally fully fill this one here. And then we'll throw that back in there. And of course, this will also kind of like be our lunchbox in a way. So 9 diamonds. We're going to split that in half for Babs' share. Which actually combine this because, ooh. There we go. We're making a killing, Babs. I think honestly we should probably set up like a little like bank. Oh god, that just looks so cool. That maybe we need to have like a little chest or something on each of our sides so that way I'll give you the 13. Well, anyway, your diamonds are going to be in one of your chests over here. But I think we should totally set up like some sort of like payment box for each other. So whenever we go about checking the shops and everything and we see that we got diamonds, we'll just split it in half and then we'll be able to dump it into our chests. So without having to wait for the others to come online. So where does that put me at? Ooh, just a little over a stack of diamonds now. So exciting. So exciting. All right, I'm going to dump off this. Keep that on hand. And then, let's see here. We're going to pop out our ender chest just to kind of slap it here. Where is the box full of crap? Ah, yes, right here. Okay. So what we need to do... So I'm going to move a bunch of this stuff up out of the way, because for some reason I work out of this section right here all the time. It's probably, honestly, because my hotbar is always filled. Normally I even have more, and then with another ender chest that my hotbar is normally just full. So I like to carry my sword, my silk pickaxe, my fortune pickaxe, and my axe, shovel, hoe, chest plate, ender chest, and fire rockets. So that fills up my hotbar, typically. So what I want to do is kind of figure out... I mean, the pathway is going to be like right here. So, I mean, maybe if we do something like this as a boulder, or just kind of like alter the terrain a little bit here. And then that should redirect the crafters to be coming this way and not just skipping up and around. So then we're going to grab in some dirt. I think by doing like a little grassy plateau leading into the rest of this should be pretty good. 4, 5, 6. And then we'll cut this back into here. So that should work. And then if we kind of throw in, maybe say like we're going to have a boulder or like a little rock here, a little rock there, another rock here. And then we'll grab some slabs just to kind of signify that this is indeed kind of like rocky formation. Stairs is always a good one too. Let's see here. Maybe some mossy cobble. Just to kind of like... Maybe honestly, if we kind of like do one of these. Ooh, wooden leaves are now for sale and also working on more stock. Very exciting, very exciting. And honestly, I think that's pretty good. I mean, some terraforming stuff's pretty easy, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Doesn't need to be, you know, ridiculous of any kind. Let's see here. I'm going to grab some of this stone. Pull this out just so I don't have to keep running back and forth. I'm going to grab my stone cutter. And we're going to make, oh, posture check. Am I getting pretty slouchy here? Am I leaning back too far? Leaning too far forward? Oh, thanks for the posture check there, Blaze. Much appreciated. Oh, you just get into the zone, you know, you just start hunching down. All right, so we got some slabs. We'll just kind of sprinkle these in a bit just to kind of help with the curviness. Just that way it looks a little bit more natural. And then let's get some stairs. By having a couple of stairs popping in and about. Ooh, even firefly bushes are for sale. Ooh. Throw that there, and then maybe, you know what, we could do that. And then pop that there. Just to kind of make it look rocky, a little bit rough, you know, it's not smooth, it's, you know, water and stuff rushing down or that sense, or like just being eroded over time, you know? Simple things like that. And then maybe we could even do like a cool little tree at some point, kind of like poking out of something over here. That would be really cool to see. But of course, got to come up with that kind of design. As far as pathway blocks, I mean, honestly, all that I got right now is like muds and then basically like the normal pathway blocks that you just kind of, you know, which I really need to get my hands on. I just need building materials, honestly. That's like the kicker right now, is just needing some building materials. That's kind of the issue that is going on right now. That and that. We're going to do that. Which, my biggest pet peeve of all time is whenever building with like the pathway block and it brings you down the pixel, I always make sure to do this. And actually, sometimes I typically kind of do like mossy cobble or something, or even a moss block, just to kind of show that little bit of a difference. And I need to put a quartz slab here. I'm not going to like really mess too much with this area, other than just to connect it up. Yeah. So we got a little pathway, and of course we're going to have to figure out some like some light fixtures and kind of that ordeal just to kind of make it a little bit more pop-a-lockin', I guess. I don't know why I keep saying pop-a-lockin'. And now let's see here. How much stone do we got cooking over here? So we got to do that other edge. We can't be leaving floating stuff. We can't. It's just, it's against the rules of terraforming. Ooh, glow and behold. I'm surprised to see that people are still getting advancements this late on. So, of course, we're going to come down around here to do a bit. Oh, but yeah, this is like really close. So maybe we'll hold off on this side just because of the pods all kind of like spreading and stuff. That we'll kind of just get an idea of how we're going to do some terraforming over on this side. So if we... Honestly, we could kind of clear this out. Give ourselves a nice working platform over here. Let's see here. Get my stone back out. And then, honestly... I think if we do something... Actually, one thing that I like about doing like kind of like these cliff faces, this type of style, with like a... it kind of like curves around and stuff, that I like to do like a stone outline, okay? Do a bit of a stone outline on the outside of what's being, you know, terraformed and built up for a mountain. Or like a cliff face, to be really more so exact. So then as you kind of like come down, you're trying to figure out the different curves of things just to make it look a bit nicer. Make it feel a little bit more natural in that sense. It's like you want to try to avoid repeating patterns in certain ways, which it can get a little bit dicey in some spots. But essentially just kind of like popping around a little bit just to kind of make it look a little bit more natural in a sense. Like, see, that looks pretty natural. It's not flat. It's got some curves and textures to it, which, of course, the detailing of different style blocks is what's going to really help it pop. So, like, we kind of wrap around here, so we kind of want to accent that the best as possible. And of course, I don't have torches on me. I never have torches on me. So we know that we're curving in a little bit. So we might want to, like, help that shape. Just to demonstrate that we're kind of going in a different direction. Which I would prefer to do something like this. And then maybe we go up to 3. Just to kind of give it that little bit of a difference. Bring that in. And then we're kind of almost starting a pattern here. So we gotta keep an eye on that just to make sure that we're not generating a pattern. Oh, does nobody keep an eye on the time here? Nobody sleep? Nobody wants to sleep? The other thing too that would help is that we can even take this and go further down. It's one of the best things about terraforming. Let's see here. What do we got cooking here? So maybe we do a little something like that. Then this kind of comes down. And then maybe that. Which stairs and slabs help out a lot too with this, but getting in like a rough shape to start off with is always best. And then you can kind of, you look at it, be like, okay, yeah, I need to imagine a stair or something being here, or a slab being here, or like a different kind of block. Now we're kind of coming around to a curve here, so we want to try to make sure that we demonstrate that it's curving. We come down here and then go up 2-ish. Like, see, like right here. It looks too sharp, right? So like I'm thinking like, oh, maybe placing a block will kind of help smooth it out. But see, like this is where like a slab or a stair would come in handy. Just happens to be one of those things. And of course, you know, if we get some slabs and stairs, which do I even have any left over? Nope, I do not. I'm going to hold off on going beyond this point just because of the podzol. So once Cheese gets her full-fledged farm and woodshop set up, then all of these trees in Craftyville are going to go away. And then that's going to help me out with actually making sure I can do some more permanent fixtures. Whoa, you can put an ender chest in here and get a mini ender chest. Oh, can you do a shulker box? Oh, you can. Can you do scaffolding? Oh, that's sad. Dandelion? No. Seeds? No. A grass block? Of course. Dirt block? Of course. And then the call, yeah. Can't do iron, armor or tools, but we can do rockets. That's pretty cool. Seeds, I wish we could do seeds and flowers. Flowers would be cool, but to each their own. To each their own. All right. So now kind of looking at this, see this is a bit it's a bit harsh in certain shapes. So by just doing in some slabs and some stairs, like prime example, like right here, that helps to smooth it out, but it keeps it looking that natural look to it. And then we also got to keep in mind too to make sure that we're, you know, replacing any exposed stone. So it's like we can do this, and then just like really show it off in this area. So it's like we take a step back and look, like, see, that looks more natural, looks more curvy. We could even throw a slab in there just to kind of give it that little extra shape. And then, of course, like in some of these pockets here, like specifically behind the stairs, I like to do like mossy cobble in that sense, so just a little bit's poking out. and then do like a couple blocks of cobble around it just to help like blend it into this hard, rough stone. And then even sometimes I like to do that just depending on how things are, so it's not too patterny, but it does kind of smooth it out. And then I typically kind of do some like foliage on the top and droop it down just a little bit. That's kind of like a nice natural looking barrier. So like for example, like this one seems to be like a pretty good section for a stair. And then potentially this one here too. We can do a stair kind of going this way. We'll throw a slab in there just to kind of smooth this angle out a bit. Maybe that's a little bit too tall. So we can do a slab in here. And then we can do a stair to complement it here. Potentially same thing kind of here. Do a slab. Can break this up with a stair action just to kind of give it those different bumps, the different angles. Throw that in there, and then we could do like a stair here. So that way it kind of makes it a little bit more jagged, but not really, just because of the depth of how the stair is. And then we can kind of do a slab up here just to kind of smooth this out a little bit, just to make it feel and look a little bit more natural. And then maybe a slab here just to make the gappage in this section look a little funky. So this section's looking pretty good. We're going to move over onto this side. Potentially throw in a... Yeah, no, I like how it's more open in that area. We can do a slab here to kind of accentuate this section. Potentially another slab just to make it look different. Oh. I was like, what is that? Just some foliage of some kind poking through. Throw in a stair here. Potentially do a slab there. Maybe a stair here just to kind of open this little section up here just to make it look a little bit rougher. So this is looking good. Throw a slab in here. We can even put stairs like in the walls in the sense just to kind of like, you know, break it up a little bit. To literally make it look broken, kind of like nature's doing its thing. It's like even stuff like that, like, you know, it adds these pockets. It breaks it up a little bit. Like look at how it is right here. Like that's pretty rough. It still looks good, but it's rough. And then obviously coming in here and doing just random slabs and stairs, it helps to just smooth it out a little bit. This is why I love terraforming. Like terraforming's my thing. A lot of people are like the builders and or redstoners. People like to adventure and stuff. My thing is definitely doing like terraforming stuff. I enjoy it so much. It's peaceful. And we can do like a stair here. We can drop a... Oh, I like that little angle. We'll do... Just to kind of not mirror that stair here. We'll do that. This right here is a little... It's a little jagged for my liking. So we could do that just to kind of smooth that section out. And then maybe we can do like an opposite stair. Yeah. It's breaking that up a little bit. That's nice. That's nice. Maybe, or we could even still leave that there, but do this. With a boulder and a slab just to kind of smooth that bit out. Stair facing here, so maybe we do a slab there. And then we could totally do a stair facing this way. And then maybe we do something to this effect here. That's kind of cool. Can't terraform in the night. Things get a little bit risque. All right, let's go check it out over here on this little lookout platform that I've been using a lot lately. Like, see, that just, it makes it a lot smoother. It's like, of course, once we get to the edge, like right there, it's all jagged and stuff, just because I don't want to have the podzol get messed up. The podzol to mess this up. But of course, even something as simple as this and how we kind of like started spewing out a little bit down below, it helps to give it that little rocky look and feel to it. And then we can do some like leaves up on the top here. We can do some texture variants like, you know, the cobble mixed in, mossy cobble, andesite. And then as we kind of go down the mountain a little bit, maybe depending on what's going on over here, I'm not entirely sure. According to the clay map, it kind of, this area is in Craftyville, so I guess it's kind of my problem in a way. However, I don't know what we're going to really do here. Maybe we could do a really cool like river. All I know is that we're doing a bridge from that level right there all the way over to this side, and then we're going to curve over that way into the shopping district. That is all that I know as far as this valley here. And then, of course, we're going to have the footpath running along the outskirts of the bowl of the valley on that side. But yeah, once we get some like darker blocks in here, especially more so in like these little sections that you can naturally see some shadows kind of poking in where it's naturally dark, it's going to really, really help. And especially changing those blocks of the different slabs and the stairs, like even the ones that are like inside the walls to make the pocket, that if we can like try to like hide in some darker blocks, it'll kind of give it like natural looking shadows in the sense like, ooh. There's just so much to do with this, and especially like gradients. But even still, this still looks good on its own. Just basically randomly placing in some stone, and then stairs and slabs. That's all there is to it. And then just doing like a random curve or random shape of terrain, or even just taking like what there is for natural. Like, you know, say this section right here, you want to do something kind of cool, custom of like a little cliff face. Keep it flat on this level, and then go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just clear out all that dirt, but leave that edge right there. And then just take some stone, go around the top outside perimeter of it. So then you would just kind of go around this layer here of the dirt on the outside, and then try to do the little curvy thing. Like it starts out low at the bottom, and then it curves up, and then it comes out. So it's like, you know, as if water was like rushing down, it was like curling it in. So that way it gives you that depth, and it's really easy, especially even on like the 2 and the 3 blocks, as we can see. Because once you start getting those slabs and stairs in, it's pretty freaking easy. There's not a whole lot of rocket science behind it, as I'm flying off with a rocket. But even like looking from this angle, it looks good. And of course, once we get some different blocks in, once we get it smoothed out and the rest of the area starts to complement it, things are just going to look a lot better. And then once this gets finished, I should say, it's going to be a lot better. And once we can actually really get some pathways in and actually, oh, it's just, I'm so excited for this season. I like, ideas are constantly in my brain, constantly trying to figure out stuff, look into things. Oh, I'm just stupidly excited. I want to grab some bone meal just to kind of lushen this up a little bit, just because it is a bit flat. Same goes for kind of this little section. I know that doing a little tree up here would be pretty cool. But we'll just do this just to kind of add in a little bit. And then same thing for kind of like the knoll right here. It kind of looks done, but it's not done. And we'll go back over here to our little lookout platform and just see if it if it helped or if it didn't help. I mean, even still, just that little bit of grass, it helped it. Just to break it up so it's not flat. And of course, you know, we'll add in some bushes and stuff, and we'll do some things a little bit different here and there, and add in a little bit more foliage and some glow lichen on the rocks just to give it a little bit of different texture, different variation to it, and of course some light levels. But yeah, I mean, honestly, and then continuing to like kind of smooth out the rest of this place maybe, and then have like a pathway that goes around to go back around or something, go over there to Shroom's house, and we could carry this stone structure all the way around if we really wanted to. But then, you know, of course now we can like kind of, if we wanted to, we could go down with the base and be underneath where this terraforming is, and then this section here. The other thing, ooh, maybe you know what I could add to this, as it just popped into my brain, is that maybe could do like another skull or some sort of structure over here, and then have it kind of coming out on a little rock platform or something. And maybe. Because originally it was going to be dead on center, but just how like the terrain is, I kind of thought this was a bit cooler. And then maybe trying to incorporate actually like a spinal column to lead you up into our base, maybe. Or doing something different over here, maybe like a different skeleton skull structure or something. Of course, the sky's the limit with this, and we can always add more to this later on. It's always fun. I love this game so much. I'm so excited for this season. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I mean, I know we're in here and I can wait for some things, but like I'm just excited. Like I just want to get a lot of things done, and like I'm really hyped up, but I keep pulling myself back. I keep trying to like look into some different things and do a little bit and not do a whole lot of boring resource grindy stuff. That's why like I really lack the materials. Is simply because I don't want to get burnt out. I don't want to rush through projects. I want to struggle. I want to have that feeling of like, ah, yes, I'm going to spend a little bit of time doing this. I'm going to go goof off and do this. Oh, I'm going to talk to these people. I'm going to hang out with these people, do some crazy stuff. And that's just what it is. But I'm going to call the stream here. We did quite a bit of good work. I need to gather up some more resources for a different project. Maybe I'll stream in a little bit later on today. Maybe not. I don't know. Because there's a redstone project that I've been working on to do some rooted dirt as one of the pathway blocks for the Craftyville area. That rooted dirt, coarse dirt, mud, mushroom blocks. It's another thing. I need to get some mushroom blocks on my hands. Maybe set up a little rudimentary like brown mushroom farm over in Babs and I's industrial district. But yeah, those are some things I got to figure out. I'm excited about it and pumped up to build a gold farm for the first time ever. I've never built a gold farm, so I'm excited for that. Very, very excited. But again, I just want to thank everybody. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for giving the